Great greeting.
I'm not Dan Davidson. I spent a lot to get this upper lip done for this, so I'm definitely not. I was thinking, while you were talking, I was thinking, why the hell did I choose Hey Romeo?
Us too.
I obviously slept my way to the top. Oh dear, very bad. You know, I was thinking, how did I even get here and why did I do it? And it absolutely, from the beginning, was a love of music. I've always just loved music. And even though Chris slammed my singing earlier, you may not know, back in the 70s, my sisters that are here tonight, my sister-in-law, we had a group called the Pointless Sisters. True story. If you booked us now, we'd be the Pointed Down Sisters. Aging's wonderful. I exercise every night. I touch my toes every night by taking off my bra. Oh dear, yeah, it's gonna get worse. You know, it's funny, I did start here at CKGY, was the midnight to 6 shift, yes, the ballsy sound of AM radio, we like to call it. And from there, I went to Westlock, and you gotta love small town radio, because I was hired as the midday announcer, the creative writer, and my shift happened to fall during the noon farm show, so I was also the farm director. I was a born and raised girl from St. Albert. I didn't know the difference between a heifer and a bull, for crying out loud. However, after hearing Jack Danes from the Innisfil auction market for 35 years, I now know what a semen-tested bull is. Because everybody should know that. From Westlock, I go to Drum, and I had the drive home show, so people only thought my show was 5 minutes long. It was longer, but I always remember Mark Woods was my program director there, and I went into him and I said, and he's no longer with us, but what an imprint he had on my career, because I said, I'm a goal setter. I want to get to a major market, and I want to sit in your chair one day. And I said, how do I get there? And he said, well, you should become a music director or a promotions director. So I said, well, we have a music director, I'll become a promotion director. So I worked the afternoon drive, I took the promo job, and double the work, same pay. That's how bright I was. However, that's what got me in the door at CFCW. Newcap Radio bought CFCW in 1989. And Warren and Faye Holt, he was the manager, and he called me, and I took the job in an absolute heartbeat. I grew up listening to CFCW. That was my dad's station, and it was such an honor to get to work there. R. Harlan Smith, I met him on my second day at CFCW. Harlan's in the Hall of Fame, and I know you're in the room here tonight, Harlan. And I don't think anybody realizes what a mark he made on me, in that how to respect the legends, but then how to respect the Alberta artist, the Canadian artist, because Harlan really believes that you should be able to make a living here at home. And he made me realize very early on that as a radio station, I could help you make a living at home. And when I suddenly hear Dan Davidson on CFCW, or the Dungarees, or Gord Bamford, or Blake Reed, or Aaron Goodfin, or Drew Gregory, Brett Kissel, the list goes on. Do you know what? Over Christmas time, those artists I just mentioned made up 90% of our playlist at CFCW. That's pretty cool, all Alberta artists. But that was R. Harlan that made sure I was trained properly. And then it was Al Anderson, who was our general sales manager at the time, and he figured I could work with Wes Montgomery, because in his words, I was the only broad that could put up with him. Working with somebody on air is like a marriage. Have you ever worked with somebody that trims their toenails in the control room? Wes did. He used to peel carrots and never hit the garbage. He used the same carrot peeler for 50 years in the control room. But it was the lowest point of my life when I had to go on the radio to tell our listeners that he had passed away. I've had a lot of highlights in my career. There's so many, but I remember Country Music Week in St. John, New Brunswick, and I have so many I love my job moments. And I was for those in the industry know the Olay party that's after the award show. And yeah, it's a good one. And so I'm at this party, and Russell DeCarl, who I've had a crush on, sorry Cliffy, he was on stage singing Merle Haggard's Today I Started Loving You Again, and Cor Blunt asked me to dance. Life's good, hey ladies. Yes, life is very good. Another Country Music Week, Brett Kissel, many of you probably know, he lived with Cliffy and I for a little bit after he left high school. And we're in Hamilton at Country Music Week. It's 4 a.m. I'm taking good care of him like a good mother would. We're having a runaway. It's 4 in the morning. We convinced the cab driver to take us through McDonald's drive-thru. And Brett, as he's eating the hamburger, looks at me and he says, JR, this will be the last Country Music Week I'll come as a nobody. He was right. He was absolutely right. What a cool story, hey? I had to pay for that damn Big Mac, though. You know what? So many of you, my husband is here. You don't know him. A lot of people on air would know him as what's his name. But as you can imagine, I dance to the beat of my own drummer. But he has let me dance to the beat of that own drummer. Do you know what he says all the time? Is he beats his head against the wall. I'm a lucky fella. I'm a lucky fella. I'm a lucky fella. But I love you so much. We've been together 33 years. I started the same year. We got married, it was about 6 months working at CKGY. But I married him because I needed his money. My sister that's here, she was her bank teller, and she told me he had 10 grand in the bank and owned his own truck. Don't worry, she's not in the banking industry anymore. I have to thank my dad who taught me to love country music. You know those big mother stereos with the 8-track and you put the albums on, the stereos are the size of a couch? Well, yeah, we had one of those, and Dad had Merle Haggard on there and George Jones and Johnny Cash. Why he always had to do that at 2 in the morning, I'll never know. But he did, and he loved, as I said, CFCW. And my mom taught me the art of volunteering. I was volunteering at the curling club when I was a teenager, and she taught me to give back to the community. So that's where my love of volunteering and my love of country music has come. And I should say something really intelligent and brilliant to finish this off, but I got nothing. But my motto has never changed in all these years. It's work hard, play hard, and be kind to people. That's all I've ever done. Thank you so much for the association. Thank you so much for this award. It means so much to me. Thank you, everybody.